Chapter 28. The story of Sri Vasavee Nagareswara. Description of the forms of Vishnu-Maha, Laxmi-Maha, Saraswati-Maha and Kaali-Mahakaali. That day was Friday. That was the auspicious time of celebration of birthday of Sri Vasavee Devi. Sripada walked on the water of Krishna and reached the other shore. We reached the other shore on boats. It was 7 gadiyas in the morning. In Tirumala Mahakshetra, it was the auspicious time when Sri Venkateshwara Swami receives Archana, worship, from Sri Alimelu Mangambika. Sripada entered the Goshala, built the previous day, and went into Dhyana. We also reached the Goshala at the same time. That was the rare occasion of starting of Sripada's Darbar. Wonder of the wonders! Sri Charana's body suddenly started becoming luminous. That great luminescence was spreading on all the 4 sides. His body was appearing luminous in place of physical body. He came out of the Goshala. Normally, his shade used to fall on the ground, but on that day, his shade was not seen. His footprints were not seen on the ground while he was walking. He looked at Surya Bhagavan, sun, intensely. His body was full of divine luster, and that lustrous form started increasing in size. After some time, his lustrous form merged in the sun. We saw disappearance of Sripada with our own eyes. In the sun disk, we saw a divine lustrous baby. That baby came out of sun and started coming towards earth with quick steps. When the baby put its foot on earth, the earth disappeared. He was smiling. He again looked at sun intensely. Again the earth appeared to our eyes. He told both of us to look at the sun disk. We saw the form of a cute divine lustrous baby in the sun disk. That divine baby was a female. She was smiling and coming towards the earth. When those divine babies' feet touched the earth disappeared again. We were looking with wonder. That divine baby looked at us and smiled. Immediately, the earth appeared to us again. With respect, Sripada lifted that child. Sripada was in the age of 16. That divine child was looking 3 years of age. She mostly remembered Sripada. She wore silk clothes and wonderful ornaments. Sripada and that divine baby entered the Goshala. I and Sri Dharmagupta were looking at these wonderful sights with surprise, wonder and fear. One doubt entered my mind. Was all this Indrajala Mahendrajala? A great magic? Sripada sensed my doubt and said with a thundering voice, "O Shankar Bhatt, this is not Indrajala Mahendrajalam. This is my nature, my divine Prakriti. The moment I will, sky becomes earth. Whatever I will, Brahma creates accordingly. Then different forms get expressed in this creation. The powers in nature get expressed with form and qualities in the form of creation. When I say I am the form of Brahma, it means that I am the one who gives the incitement to Brahma to create. All the jivas and other creatures will be kept in sthiti, sustained for some time. This is done by my Vishnu form. The Mahavishnu who gives the incitement to Vishnu is myself. Saraswati is different and Mahasaraswati is different. Saraswati is the form of knowledge related to the creation. Mahasaraswati is the Anagha form who gives the incitement and power to Saraswati form. The wealth of things necessary for sustenance of creation is the form of Laxmi. Mahalakshmi is the Anagha form who gives the incitement and power to Lakshmi form. The Shakti or the power of destruction is the form of Kaali. Mahakaali is the Anagha form who gives the incitement and power to Kaali form to destroy, the form of Anagha Lakshmi. Anagha with Anagha Lakshmi is my Datta form. Anagha Lakshmi is the combined form of Mahasaraswati, Mahalakshmi and Mahakaali and is the Divine Mother form who transcends those 3 forms. It is also the divine power which is the basis for those three forms and remains in a state of oneness with them. My Anagha form is the Shakta which bears Anagha Lakshmi on the left half and remains in oneness with Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara and transcends beyond them also. As a result of Savitrukataka Chayanam done in Treta Yugam, my divine form took avatar as Sripada Srivallabha in Yati form with Mahavaishnava Maya based on Ardhanarishvara Tattvam. Learn that this form you are seeing now is a combined form of Mahalakshmi and Mahavishnu in reality. The form of Padmavati has the combined Chaitanyam of Mahasaraswati, Mahalakshmi and Mahakaali. That form remains as Mahalakshmi, but it is the Parashakti which has all the three Shaktis and it is also the basis of those three Shaktis and also transcends them. The Venkateshwara form combines the divine Chaitanyam of the grand Brahma form, Mahavishnu in Virat form and Pralayakala Rudra as Mahakala form. It is basis of those three forms and also transcends them. Shri Padmavati Venkateshwara is there as Ardhanarishvara form in Sripada Srivallabha. I said, Guru Sarvabhauma, victory to you. You said you were Padmavati Venkateshwara. Again you said you were Anagha with Anagha Devi. Being a dull-headed person, I am not able to understand your philosophy. Please have mercy on me and uplift me. Sripada himself is Shri Venkateshwara. Then Sripada said, My dear, my kalas are endless. My divine tattvam has the nature of expressing itself in many ways. Mahalakshmi and Padmavati basically are same, but when she takes the tattvam of Mahalakshmi, Mahavishnu form is emerging from me as her Prabhu. When she takes Padmavati tattvam, Venkateshwara comes out of me as her Prabhu. When the tattvam takes a particular form and qualities, the necessary sensitivities, traditions and limits should be followed. My divine sister, this Mahashakti was born as Yogamaya at the time of Krishna avatar and disappeared in the cosmos. The great tapasvis, yogis, maharshis and Vaishyamunis did intense penance and made her take birth as Vasavee Kanyaka. For some special reasons, I had to take avatar in pithapuram. You see the program happening now. You will understand the philosophy of my avatar and divine Leela filled with pleasure. My dear Shankar Bhatt, you write in charitamrutam the details of the Leelas being done now in Panchadeva Pahad as you see and as it is. That will be the guide to the future generations. It will destroy all serious doubts. I will impart new power, devotion and enthusiasm in believers. While we both were looking stunned, Sripada Srivallabha form became luminous and from that Shri Padmavati and Shri Venkateshwara manifested. The divine baby became bigger and bigger as we looked and took the form of new young Shri Kanyaka Parameshwari of 18 years. The Goshala disappeared and in its place a magnificent palace appeared with luminous balls spreading divine light all over. As we looked, the royal couple and all their servants appeared. We recognized the royal couple as Kusuma Shreshti couple. The farmer we saw yesterday gave darshan in the attire of Yuvaraj, prince. He asked me, Sir, what is meant by Mushti in Mushti Veera Mushti? I said I did not know. Mahaprabhu in the form of Shri Venkateshwara said, My dear Shankar Bhatt, have you seen the sensitivities and traditions while one is with the form and qualities? One should meticulously follow them. Slowly you will understand everything. Breaking sounds emanated from Sri Vasavee Kanyaka. I was afraid whether some pralayam was going to take place. Meanwhile, the Prakriti cooled and Sri Vasavee Devi and Sri Nagareswara emerged from Vasavee form. The Vaishya couple came in pairs. I understood that it was a great royal palace where Sri Vasavee Kanyaka lived in Brihatshila Nagaram. Sri Venkateshwara Prabhu said, My dear Shankar Bhatt, the Vaishya couple you are seeing were the couple who did Agni Pravesham with Vasavee Kanyaka. There you see Vaishya Rishis belonging to 101 Gotras. Meanwhile, Kusuma Shreshti said, the great Guru Bhaskaracharya has not come. Labha the Maharshi, who belongs to the 102nd Gotra, also has not come. Prabhu, did Guru Dalwar not inform both of them? Srinivasa Prabhu said, Father, the Bhaskaracharya you know was the same Labha the Maharshi who lived previously. Now he is in Pithapuram as my maternal grandfather. Bapanarya and Punya Rupini Rajamamba are looking at the Leelas happening here from there with yogic vision. Meanwhile, Akhanda Lakshmi Saubhagyavati Sumati Maharani, Brahmarshi Appala Raju Sharma, Akhanda Lakshmi Saubhagyavati Venkata Subbamma, Maharshi Venkatapaya Shreshti alighted from a lustrous divine aeroplane with subtle bodies and came in. They were welcomed grandly. As it was the birthday of Sri Vasavee Kanyaka, Sumati Maharani, Kusumamba and Venkata Subbamma and other sacred women did Mangalasnanam, auspicious bath, and decorated her with ornaments. Sri Nagareswara Mahaprabhu was glowing with extremely luminous beauty. He was also given Mangalasnanam. Srinivasa Prabhu said, O Vaishya Munis, 18 Nagara Swamis, Agnigunda couples, today is a good day. This is a divine auspicious time. I have decided that the engagement ceremony is to be done today for the marriage of Sri Vasavee Devi and Sri Nagareshwara. For that, I want your suggestions and consent, and I want to discuss the details, how and in what way to perform it. When Sri Vasavee Kanyaka was in Parvati form, Ravanasura came to Kailash. He urged Parameshwara to give him Atmalingam. Bhola Shankar gave it. After that, Ravana asked something which was not supposed to be asked. Ambika took the form of Kaali. Later, the Atmalingam also got installed in the earth at Gokarnam. But in Kali Yugam, a Gandharva who got an Amsha from Ravana asked for Vasavee. You know that it was Vishnuvardhana Maharaj. You also know that Vasavee entered Agni with 102 couples belonging to 102 Gotras. Sri Bhaskaracharya raised Gaurabalikas, girls, and Balanagaras. Sri Vasavee Kanyaka is also a Gaurabalika. It is wise to treat Nagareshwara as Balanagara and perform the marriage. Even then, there is a hitch. You have to solve it. After hearing your opinions, we will decide about the engagement. Sri Nagareshwar had no father or mother or Gotram. He is a Swayambhu, self-manifested. But our Kanyaka wants him as husband by mind, word and action. Sri Nagareshwar also is eager to marry our Kanyaka. While performing Kanyadana, we should thoroughly think about the bridegroom's caste and Gotram and other important things. According to our tradition, Menarikam, marrying cousin, is in order. I will abide by your decision. Everyone was stunned hearing the words of Srinivasa, who was the pivot of this world drama. Gaurabalika should be given to Balanagara only in marriage. They wondered whether they should give her to Shankar Bhagavan, having no caste in Gotram or not. Kanyaka also wants to marry Sri Nagareshwar. They thought that they should ask for the help of the most learned Sri Ganapati to get over this difficult situation. They understood that Ganapati Deva's blessings and grace were important for anything to be done. When they prayed, Ganapati Deva manifested. Everybody prostrated to him. Ganapati said, Srinivasa, this Vasavee is my mother Parvati Devi only. So there is nothing wrong in giving her to Nagareshwar in marriage. Then Srinivasa said, My dear Ganesha, you are a boy. You can understand dharma and settle dharma clearly. You are Ganadhyaksha. You are the supreme among the 3 crore gods and you are the head of Pravritti and Nivritti Ganas. So without your order, No marriage is treated as accepted by dharma. At the time of marriage of Parvati, you were not born. In that case, Parvati Kalyanam also was not accepted by dharma. The Vaishya elders were stunned. Leave alone Vasavee Kalyanam. Now Srinivasa Prabhu says Parvati Kalyanam also was not acceptable. They could not say anything. Ganapati said, "My dear clever uncle, I know your foul play. You are planning that the marriage of my mother and father should not happen. While getting married, the bridegroom should spend money liberally, giving dakshinas and doing annadanam. You are ridiculing that my father has no money. I do not agree with your viewpoint. Every human being has Kundalini power. I am the one present in the Mooladhara Chakra. At the time of marriage of Parvati and Parameshwara, they invited me as I was present in the Mooladhara Chakra of Shankar Bhagavan. That marriage was performed with my acceptance only. So the marriage of Parvati Parameshwara was very much acceptable. At that time, my emergence in the physical world did not happen. But I was the one present in the Mooladhara of all human beings and gods. Labhada was born as my son. He was Labhada Maharshi in Kritayugam. The Gotra of Labhada is among the 102 Gotras. When the gems of Ganapakulam, Dhanagupta and Dhanalakshmi couple entered Agni, their progeny ended. So cleverly, I begot Labhada Maharshi as my son. So ours became Labhadi Gotram. Because my Gotram is Labhadi Gotram, my father Paramashiva's also is Labhadi Gotram. This Labhadi Gotram is one of the 102 Gotras. So Nagareshwara is becoming an Arya Vaishya. You say you are the brother of Vasavee Mata. At present, Labhada Maharshi has come as Bapanarya. You take the permission of your grandfather and find out if Nagareshwara can be considered as born in Labhadi Gotram. Then it can be considered also as a Menarikam, cousin marriage. It is so because Kusuma Shreshti, who was born in Prabhata Gotram, has got relations with people born in Labhadi Gotram. They are related as maternal uncles. I know that you will create such hurdles. So I allowed Dhanalakshmi, Dhanagupta couple enter the Agni Kundam and ended their Gotram. Sri Nagareshwara can be given this Gotram. I am giving one more boon from today. People are worshipping you for the grace of Lakshmi as your Lakshmi Pati, husband of Lakshmi. From now onwards, people will worship Shiva and do Abhishekam to Shiva will have the grace of Lakshmi. The saying, Ishwaryam Ishwaradichet will spread on all sides of the world. People doing Shiva worship at Shani Pradosha time will have happiness in this world as well as in the other worlds. Srinivasa asked for suggestions from Vaishya elders. All of them supported in one voice what Ganapati had said. With great pleasure, engagement ceremony was done for performing marriage between Vasavi Devi, born in Prabhata Gotram, and Nagareshwara, born in Labhada Gotram. In the night, arrangements were made for a big feast. It was all a festive occasion with dances and music of Apsara girls. Sri Vasavee Mata said, "The count of 102 Gotras is exactly 102 Gotras only. It is a mistake to think that there is no Labhadi Maharshi Gotram. The main reason for ending of 102nd Gotram is that it should belong to Sri Nagareshwara Mahaprabhu. The Gotram in which I am born should be considered as Prabhata Gotram and Sri Nagareshwar Mahadevas should be considered Labhadi Gotram. All Vaishyas will remember Labhadi Gotram. Similarly, they all will worship Sri Nagareshwara Mahaprabhu. Even though I am in Kanyaka form, you should recognize that my Swami is there in every atom of mine. Moreover, in every atom of Sri Nagareshwar, I am there. If I am worshipped and he is not worshipped, or he is worshipped and I am not worshipped, there will not be any result. My Kanyaka form is only for 18 years. Before that, I was Parameshwari only. After that also, I will be Parameshwari. If you think of me as Kanyaka, I will give you the feeling of Kanyaka. If you think of me as Parameshwari, I will give you darshan as Saubhagyamangala Rupini. The Murti in Tirupati was worshipped as Bala Tripura Sundari Balaji and Ishwar. People used to worship the Murti in Tirumala as Bala Tripura Sundari. Later, it was worshipped as Ishwar. Still later, it is being worshipped as Mahavishnu form. The Bala Tripura Sundari in the Murti of Tirumala is myself. The one as Ishwar is Sri Nagareswara only. The one with Mahavishnu form is my brother Datta Prabhu. This oneness should be understood as related to Chaitanyam but not to the physical world. Srinivasa Prabhu said, Sister, I am now present as Sripada Srivallabha in Pithapuram. You should be there in my samsthan as my Adapaduchu, sister. Ambika said, Brother, this is agreeable to me. Before this, you should come in Sri Venkateshwara form to Kanyaka Parameshwari Mahasamstan in Nagaram. The player of world drama smiled. The birthday of Sri Vasavee Devi was performed grandly. It remained as ordinary Goshala on the next day. We finished early morning course and started towards Karungadda. Victory to Sripada Srivallabha, sripadarajam saranam prapadhye.